Hello, friends, crafting friends. Welcome to Wild Cottage. My name is Susan. I live here in the hills of County Clare in the west of Ireland on a small homestead with my partner Tom, my bonus son Merlin, who is in Nairobi for the next 2 months, and our two adopted dogs, Shep, who is a retired sheepdog, and Mimi, who is a 7-year-old now, but she was a puppy we found abandoned in the forestry right next to us. So that's our little family here, loads of wildlife and such. And this is my Crafty Vlogtober vlogs. And today is the 4th of October. And this one may be a little shorter because life. I've got to go back to the doctor because my COVID shot thing, my arm is doing something weird. So there we are. So yes, I have been replying to your comments bit by bit. I think I've got to nearly all of them, so that's great. And in the help me choose which sock yarns to knit first for the Halloweeny ones, it was a tie between the purple. No, that's not the purple. There's purple in it. Between the orange, see there's a little bit orange in there. The orange and the purple. Ooh, there. Okay, escapee. So I think what I will do is, I'll knit both of them. I'll make socks out of both. I'm going to start with this one simply because I have a crochet poncho that I did a while ago, which is mostly black, but it has a few orange flecks in it. So when I go over to the UK in like a week, if I can get these done, I might wear them with it. And the pattern I'm going to do is the Orchard Socks. I'll put a picture of it up here by Judy Jewel of the Autumn Acorn. And she also has a knitting channel here on YouTube, and I'll link that below. This is a new pattern she just put out. And I thought it was really cute with like the ruffle around the top. So, because we've all been talking about on this channel about the boot toppers for my little boots. I think I'm going to knit this long enough, which doesn't need to be super long, to top my boot with that ruffle. And with the 100 grams, I should be able to do that. And the contrast heel and toes, which is, it's more that color, but it is neon. Anyhow, and this is, if you've just joined us, welcome. And this is the Hobby Universe sock wool in a Halloween color from last year. Both of them are, but I think they have these colors again this year, and they are still available. And thank you to, I've forgotten your name or your handle, but thank you to the person that gave me the idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this myself, but sometimes you just don't. So thank you so much for this, of the idea of just reaching out to Hobie about the, twister cake that was just such a nightmare with so many very tangled yarn barfs that came out of it. I mean, it wasn't even like yarn barf. It was, anyways. Reaching out to them, and yeah, because they seem like a really open and good company, and I've always enjoyed their yarns. So thank you so much for that idea, and I am going to do that. So I'll cast on these socks probably this evening. The autumn, sorry, I'm a little distracted because my arm is bothering me a little bit, but the Orchard Socks from Judy, and I'll link that pattern below as well. And I'll go back on yesterday's and actually link Sam's Oak Socks pattern, because I didn't actually link it. I just think I linked his YouTube channel, because many of you said you really loved the look of those socks, and I would definitely recommend that. So I finished these socks, just the vanilla socks that I was working on. And now I work on these at night sort of as a mindless project. So I tend to kind of do oopsies sometimes if it's quite late, but it's fine. So like my shadow wrap heel is not as good as it could be because I tend to like then drop stitches and I can't see them real great, but that's fine. They're just socks. I tried to knit them a little longer so that they would be able to go over the boots. I'm not sure if I did. What I actually need to do is just measure how long I need. But that's them there. That's the zigzag yarn from King Cole and how it knits up on a 2.25 millimeter needle. And that's a 64 stitch sock that I did. And this is the tag. And yeah, King Cole, and the colorway is Sunset, and Zigzag is the sort of the brand. It's a 4-ply, and it's a 75 superwash wool and 25% nylon. So yeah, I have those 2 socks. I'm really happy with them, and I'll just show you what the yarn looks like before it's knit up. So that's that. So I finished that, and I also finished, well, sort of finished. I finished knitting the little boot toppers that we got started with in this Vlogtober in the podcast about what are they. And so yes, and thank you to the people that told me what they're called, and also the person that mentioned there are patterns for this. There are lots of patterns because I went on Ravelry and I had a look, and I haven't even finished looking through them, but I have found one that it is so beautiful. I'll put a picture here. That's actually a free pattern, and I've downloaded that, and I haven't read through it, but there are many pages, so like it looks like it's not just, you know, like a single page. A lot of times a free pattern is, I mean, it could be kind of sparse on directions, of course, because it's free, like, but this one seems pretty good, so I want to definitely try that. And also I saw one, again, it's free, that's Crochet, and that's like free if you go on the website and look at it. So I think I'll try that one as well. But yeah, for this, because I didn't want to purl too much, I knit flat, and then I'm just going to seam up the back. But with this, I just use a DK weight, and I did mostly garter stitch with just a row of stockinette in between. And I did 45 stitches. I cast on 45 stitches. One I had done too wide, and so I unraveled it, and I played around with how wide I wanted the stockinette, and this is what I kind of ended up with. But you can see the garter rows aren't all the same, just simply, again, because it was a mindless knit for late at night, and sometimes, and also, okay, really dark yarn. How smart was that? So sometimes it didn't work out super great. But again, it doesn't matter. It's down on my foot, and it's going to be kind of squishy. And yeah, but it feels lovely. And this is another Hobie yarn. It's the Tweed Delight. That's right. It's the Tweed Delight, and they come in 50-gram balls. So that is that. And I also have been working on, and actually I was very bold and worked on it late at night, the shawl. When I kind of did my intro video after coming back from nearly a year away, I showed you the Venation shawl by Amber O'Brien that I had started last year, and maybe had done like this much. Let me try to fix this. This is blowing out a lot. So there, that's better. It's the Venation shawl by Amber O'Brien, and I had maybe done this much, but I just ripped it right back and started again. It's really, really lovely, and I'm knitting it on, I'm pretty certain they're the called for needles. They're 3.75, and I put them on the wooden symphony needles, simply because, well, hello, I never finished that sentence. Simply because I don't want to leave you hanging. It was simply because I find the Robin's Promise fingering weight yarns just really slippery. You know, a lot of times they are that way. They're kind of a light fingering. And so I find they just grip a little better on a wooden or bamboo needle. This is Robin's Promise yarn, and she's a indie dyer in Williamsburg, Virginia. This is a set called Maple Leaves. I think I said incorrectly it was the pheasant set. In my first video. I do have the pheasant set, but that goes on something else. And I'll put a picture up here of the whole set. So it's minis, sorry, it's 10, 20-gram minis. And, you know, Venation is the pattern in leaves, the veining in leaves. And I thought, well, you know, how perfect is that? The Venation shawl for the maple leaves. And of course, I have a little maple leaf stitch marker. I better hold these back here. Try not to blow them out. So yeah, it's it's a very simple pattern. I've memorized it so far, but each sort of section where you change, it's written. Yeah, it is written for different colors because I'm trying to think, yes, just like using color one, etc. The stitch changes a little bit, so it will change. But at the minute, it's mainly just garter and then one lace row. So yeah, so and you're doing a central double decrease in the middle. And yeah, it's not hard. So once I got started, it wasn't hard. When I first started it, I for some reason struggled with it, but uh, this year it seems fine. I guess last year I wasn't doing so great, so the brain was even more foggy than normal. But yeah, so I'm working on that as well. Oh, and let me show you. So what I'm wearing, I've got all my Halloweeny on now. This is a Halloween yarn that I thrifted in the US from a charity shop, a thrift shop. And it was by Evil Little Goat, who is no longer dying. And it was a Halloween yarn. I can't remember exactly the name. It's a fingering weight. I've edged it in just some black because I think the skein was maybe a bit short. But also, so this is the Tolsta tee, or sort of, because I think, so I did something, I can't remember exactly what it was. I had a fingering weight yarn and I think I was following the DK pattern. So like I had a major brain fart and I didn't realize it to I don't know, I had knit a fair bit and somehow I just kind of fudged it a little and made it work. Mostly made it work because, like I mentioned before, I've gotten a little more fluffy in the tummy section over the past year. So it's and my bind off is kind of tight. So it's a little bit tight there. It hits me right at my natural waist, which is fine on like when I'm wearing sort of jeans, but it won't do with leggings or anything like that. I don't feel comfortable going out and about with something so short with leggings, but with jeans it's great. And again, it's a lovely pattern. Like the mess up was totally me because I opened the DK weight pattern and started knitting away with the fingering weight yarn. So, but yeah, it's a nice fun yarn and a good pattern. So that's what I'm wearing, and of course I'm wearing my vanilla socks as well. Okay, so that is what I've been kind of working on for the day. I will cast on those orchard socks in the orange. And then later I'll cast on maybe more orchard socks or another type of sock in the purple. So that's really fun. And also tomorrow we are going down to my friend Susanna's farm. She raises Zwartblas sheep and black alpacas, and she creates wool yarn and fiber and blankets with her fleeces. And she is known as Zwartblas Ireland online, and she has YouTube and different social medias, and she has a Patreon. So she has a fair bit of followers that just love, farm life and sheep. So we're going to go down there for a night. She found recently a very old, like it's the end of the 1800s, start of the 1900s, handwritten knitting pattern book that her great grandmother wrote in, and I think her auntie as well. So we're going to go have a look at that, and I'll share some of that with you because that's pretty special. And we're going to go during the day on Saturday. In the afternoon, we're going to go down Saturday. In the afternoon, we're going to go to the Ultimate Gardens, which are very beautiful gardens. But the reason we're going tomorrow, even though it's meant to be very rainy, we'll see, fingers crossed, is there's some daffodil growers up in the north of Ireland, and they're coming down to show their daffodil bulbs, and they're all sort of special varieties, and some of them are Irish varieties as well. So we love bulbs and flowers, so we're going to go see that. And then the next day, before Tom and I head home, we are going to go to an Acorn bread making day with stitching. So there's a project called the Acorn Project.ie, and it's all about restoring the native oak woodlands and appreciating the things that the oak will give us. And so apparently they made acorn flour in their last sort of project. And so on the Sunday, we are going to make bread with that. And I guess while the bread is, you know, cooking or whatnot, we're going to sit around the fire. And they have also done naturally dyeing of, I think, floss and, you know, thread, or maybe the fabric as well. And we're going to do some stitching. So that's going to be really fun. And I don't know how much I'll record there because I'll be doing stuff, and plus, you know, in people's face or whatever. But I will definitely take some photos and I will tell you about it, yeah, when I get home. So that's it for today. And I hope you're all doing really well. And fingers crossed, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye bye. With love from Wild Cottage.